Morning. Hey, San. How's your morning going? I feel way better. Looks like it's just us today, unless people start to join in, chime in. Yeah, I mean that's been one of my weakest parts, just to speaking up. But I've been working on that a lot. It just so happens that you know the video thing is a new thing for me. I have to speak slightly louder. Same. Oof. Can you? I can't tell how good the view is where you are on your camera. I mean, on your laptop. Is it good for you? Like you can see my whole body, right? I had trouble before trying to angle out my body for the camera. I don't want to be too far or too close. Okay. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Well, you can join me in a comfortable seat and we can get started. Okay. Sit in a comfortable seated position. Excuse me. Relaxing the shoulders, spine reaching nice and tall, top of the crown reaching nice and long. Being mindful of the breath. Being aware of our breath. And when you're ready, gently dropping the head to the right side, stretching the stretching the whole left side of your neck. Breathing deep into that stretch in your neck. And when you're ready, gently bringing the head back to center. And we're just gently going to drop the head to the left side, left ear to left shoulder, breathing into the right side of our neck. And coming out of your last exhale, we're gently going to bring the head back to center. And we're just gently going to bring the head forward, chin to chest, stretching the backs of our neck. And coming out of your last cycle of breath, we're just gently going to rotate the head all the way around. Breathing deep into the neck. Then when you're ready, reverse that rotation, going the other direction. When you're ready, coming out of your last cycle of breath, slowly bringing the head back to center. We're going to inhale, squeeze the shoulders up. Inhale, squeeze. Exhale. One last time. Inhale, squeeze. From here, we're just going to rotate the shoulders back. Taking our time. Then we're going to bring the hands to the chest, rounding out the forearms and the elbows in a circular motion. And then we're going to do the whole arm, leading with the pinkies, rounding out both of the arms, all while maintaining your breath. And gently bringing everything back to center. We're just going to slowly make our way into tabletop. Feeling stacked here in tabletop. Feeling stacked here in tabletop. We're just gently going to widen both knees, big toes to touch. Sit the hips down and back for a child's pose. And coming out of your last cycle of breath, we're just slowly gonna make our way onto our knees for a seated position. Or the knees and the thighs, excuse me. From here, we're gonna flip the palms, place them into the floor, forearms facing outward, and we're just gonna pulse the wrist back and forth. And feel free to give yourself some heat to the forearm to ease up on the tension. Left forearm, right forearm. And from here, we're going to flip the palms, back of the hands facing into the floor or your mat. And we're also going to pulsate the wrist here as well, like we're trying to create a fist. And we're just going to flip the wrist once more. Feel free to give yourself some more heat if that feels good for you. All right. And from here, we're gently going to shake out the wrist. Give a little shake. And now we're gently going to make our way back into tabletop. Making sure we're stacked. Shoulders stacked above the wrists. Hips stacked above the knees. And from here, we're going to do a couple cat-cows. So we're going to inhale, arch the back, bring in the belly button. Towards the floor, bringing it in, tucking everything in. And then we're going to exhale everything, pushing everything out, pushing to the back, pushing to the floor. From here, you can do a couple cat-cows on your own. Breathing in everything. And pushing everything out through your back. And slowly coming out of your last cycle of breath, finishing up on your last cat or cow, slowly bringing the spine back to stillness. And from here, we're going to rise the right arm up towards the sky. And keeping the hips where they are, we're going to dive down under the left arm, dropping the head and the right shoulder into the floor or your mat. Breathing deep in your stretch here. And coming out of your last cycle of breath, we're slowly going to make our way back into tabletop. And from here, we're going to rise up the left arm all the way to the sky. And keeping the hips where they are, we're going to dive the left arm under the right, dropping the left shoulder and your head into the floor of your mat. And breathing deep in your stretch here, using your breath as a guide to go deeper into your stretch. And coming out of your last cycle of breath, We're slowly gonna make our way back at the tabletop. From here, we're gonna have big toes to touch. We're gonna widen our knees once more. We're gonna drop the hips down and back, stretching the arms nice and long for a child's pose. Love you guys too. Still keeping the child's pose position here, we're gently going to crawl the hands to the right side. Being mindful of the breath. And breathing deep into the whole left side. And when you're ready, gently crawling the hands to the left side. Breathing into the whole right side. Being mindful of the breath. And when you're ready, gently crawling the hands back to center for one last stretch. And coming out of your last cycle of breath, we're slowly gonna make our way to our bellies. So stretching both legs nice and long. We're slowly gonna make our way onto our bellies. We're gonna go post both of the arms. We're gonna place the right ear on the floor of your mat. We're gonna pillar that left arm. And we're gonna rise up the left leg and place it over into our right back space. And coming out of your last cycle of breath, we're slowly going to bring the left leg back to meet the right. We're going to go post that left arm once more. And we're going to rotate the head, placing the left ear on the floor of your mat. We're going to pillar that right arm. Rising up the right leg, we're going to place it over into our left back space. Breathing deep into the twist or into your twist. And coming out of your last exhale, or your last cycle of breath, we're slowly going to bring that right leg back to meet the left. We're going to go post that right arm once more. And we're just going to rest the head on your floor or your mat. And just lay here, relaxing both legs and both arms. Be mindful of the breath. From here, we're going to place both of the palms slightly under our chest or the armpits. And we're going to rise the head, chin, chest, pushing into the floor with both arms, dropping both shoulders. Feeling strong in your up dog or cobra. We're slowly going to lower back down, chest, chin, head, back into the floor or your mat. Once more, we're going to rise the head up, following by the chin, chest, for up dog or cobra. And slowly with control, lowering back down, chest, chin, head. One last time, rising up the head, chin, chest, dropping the shoulders. From here, we're going to tuck the back toes, rising up both knees, pushing the hips up and back for a downward facing dog. Feel free to bend your knees, pedal your feet, doing whatever feels good for you in the body. From here, we're going to walk the hands towards the feet. For a forward fold, hanging heavy here. From here, we're going to bend our knees, belly on top of thighs. Being mindful of the breath. And coming out of your last cycle of breath, we're slowly gonna rise, slowly rising up all the way. Opening up palms by our side, Feeling grounded, feet parallel. From here, we're going to inhale, rising the arms up for extended mountain pose. Exhale. Arms by our side. Inhale. Rising the arms up above our heads for extended mountain pose. And from here, we're going to exhale, hinging at the hips for a forward fold. From here, you can bend your knees, belly over thighs once more. You're coming out of your last cycle of breath. Placing your hands into the floor or walking the hands outward for a plank. For a modified version of this plank, you can move down to the forearms like so. Feeling strong here in our plank. Engaging with our core. From here, with control, lowering all the way into the earth or your mat. Lowering down all the way into the floor. Placing the palms under your armpits, pushing up and through for an up dog or cobra. Tucking the back toes, rising up the knees, pushing the hips up and back for another downward facing dog. From here, we're going to float the right knee above our chest, and we're going to place the foot between both of our palms. From here, we can allow that left knee to go, to go lower into the earth. I'm going to scoot back so you can see me more. So here we're in a low lunge, feeling strong. Right knee stacked above right ankle. From here, we're going to place both of our palms on our right thigh. Opening up the chest, opening up the throat. And just give a slight tilt or lean into the right thigh. From there, you feel some tension in the left thigh here. Using our breath to breathe into the whole left thigh. Feeling strong here. From here, we're going to lower down the left hand, framing that right foot. We're going to rise up the right arm towards the sky. Being mindful of the breath here. Breathing deep into that slight twist. And from here, you can lower down that right arm, framing that right foot. We're going to rise the left knee off the floor. And we're going to rotate that back ankle into the floor. We're going to rise up into, a warrior two. Left leg, nice and straight, nice and long. Right leg stacked. Right knee stacked above the right ankle. From here, we're going to flip the front palm. I should probably direct myself so you can see. Right arm reaching nice and long in front of us. We're going to flip the right palm, reach forward, up and back. Stretching the whole right side. From here, we're going to rotate the arms. Place the right arm on the right knee, stretching the whole left side long. From here, we're going to lower down, framing that right foot. From here, we're going to bring that right foot back to meet the left. And we're going to push the hips up and back for another downward facing dog. Feel free to pedal the feet, bend your knees. From here, we're going to float the left leg towards our chest. Right knee, left knee. And we're going to place the left foot between the palms. From here, you can lower down that right knee into the floor or your mat. So if we're here in a low lunge, feeling strong, left knee stacked on top of the left ankle. From here, we're going to place, From here, we're going to place both palms on the thigh, opening up the chest, opening up the throat. And from here, we're going to give ourselves a slight lean into the left leg. Feeling some tension in the right leg. And if you don't, that's fine as well. You might feel some tension in the left leg. From here, we're going to be mindful of the breath. Breathing deep into the left side and right side. Feeling strong here. From here, we're going to drop that right palm next to the left foot. Framing that left foot, we're going to rise up the left arm into the sky for a slight twist. Breathing deep into your twist. From here, we're going to lower down the left arm, framing that left foot. We're going to rise up the left knee, right knee up the floor, We're going to rotate that right ankle into the floor. We're going to rise up for Warrior 2 on the left side. And I'm going to do it myself so you can see me on this side. So Warrior 2 for the other side. Left arm reaching long in front. Right arm behind us. We're going to flip the left palm, reaching forward, up and back. Feeling strong, feeling stacked. From here, we're going to rotate the arms. Left arm on left knee, stretching the right side nice and long. On your last cycle of breath, we're going to lower down, framing that left foot. From here, we're coming back into a low lunge. We're going to bring that left foot back to meet the right. And we're going to push our hips up and back for another downward facing dog. Feel free to bend your knees, pedal your feet. And from here, we're slowly going to lower down into the floor, making our knees the first thing that touches the floor. From here, we're going to open up once more, spreading the knees out wide, big toes to touch, pushing the hips down and back for another child's pose. And coming out of your last cycle of breath, when you're ready, we're slowly going to make our way onto our butts or a seated position. So from here, we're going to tuck in the left leg. We're going to stretch the right nice and long. Spine reaching nice and tall. Crown of the head reaching nice and tall. From here, we're going to crawl both hands down the right leg, grabbing the shin or your foot. From here, hinging at the hips. We're going to use our breath to slowly lower down our chest. Closer, to get closer and closer towards the right leg. Being mindful of the breath. Using the breath as a guide to get closer and closer towards the right leg. Being mindful of the breath. Breathing deep into that whole right leg. And when you're ready, slowly bringing the spine back to neutral. With the right palm, we're going to reach over, grabbing the left knee, rising up the left arm, up and over, stretching the whole left side. And for a challenge, if you can, try reaching for your right foot. Being mindful of the breath, breathing deep into that whole left side. And coming out of your last exhale, we're slowly going to bring the spine back to neutral. From here, you can release that left leg. And we're just going to tuck in the right. Stretching the left leg nice and long. Spine reaching nice and tall. Top of the crown reaching nice and tall. From here, we're going to crawl the hands down the left leg, grabbing the shin or your foot. Hinging at the hips. We're slowly going to lower down, using the breath as a guide. to lower your chest closer and closer towards the left leg. Breathing deep into that whole left leg. Kind of coming out of your last cycle of breath. We're just going to bring the spine back to neutral. With that left palm, we're going to reach over, grabbing the right knee, rising up the right arm, up and over, stretching the whole right side. Chest facing towards the sky. Breathing deep into that whole right side. And coming out of your last cycle of breath, we're slowly going to bring the spine back to center. And we're going to release that right leg. And we're just going to pat out both thighs into the floor or your mat. From here, we're going to bend both knees towards the sky. From here, we're going to reach the arms long in front of us. And using our core, we're slowly going to lean back. All the way into the floor. Once your back touches the floor, we're going to rise up the right leg. And we're going to place the backs of our right leg on top of our left knee. With our left palm, we're going to grab the outside of the right knee. And we're going to place both knees over into our left frontal space for a twist. To deepen your twist, you can look over the right shoulder if that feels good for you. And coming out of your last cycle of breath, we're slowly going to bring both knees back to center. We're going to release the right leg, placing it back into the floor. From here, we're going to rise up the left leg. And we're going to place the backs of the left leg other left knee on top of the right knee. From here, with that right palm, we're gonna grab the outside of the left knee, and we're gonna place both knees over into our right frontal space. Excuse me. To deepen your twist, you can look over your left shoulder, stretching the left arm nice and long. And coming out of your last cycle of breath, we're slowly going to bring both knees back to center. We're going to release the left leg back into the floor. From here, we're going to rise up the right leg once more. We're going to place the right ankle on top of the left knee. Rising up the left leg off the floor, we're going to thread through that gap. We're going to clasp the hands behind the left thigh. And we're going to bring in the left thigh as close to us as possible. Excuse me. And feel free to circumduct that right ankle if that feels good for you. And coming out of your last cycle of breath, we're going to release the left leg back into the floor, releasing the right leg back into the floor as well. We're going to rise up the left leg and place the left ankle on top of the right knee. We're going to rise up that right leg off the floor, going through that gap, clasping the hands behind the right thigh. And we're going to bring the right thigh as close to us as possible. Being mindful of the breath. Breathing deep in your stretch. And feel free to circumduct that left ankle if that feels good for you. And coming out of your last exhale, we're going to release the right leg back into the floor. Release the left leg back into the floor as well. And from here, we're just going to rock the hips or sway the knees from side to side like they're windshield wipers. And bringing your rock to stillness, knees still facing towards the sky. We're going to rise up the hips, placing our legs right above us. From here, we're going to grab the insides of our feet, stacking both ankles on top of both knees for happy baby. For a modified happy baby, you can bring your legs just about here and grab the insides like this, like so. If this feels good for you, feel free to give yourself a gentle rock or sway. And from here, bringing both of the knees towards the chest, curling up into a little ball. And from here, coming out of your last cycle of breath, you can release all your limbs back into the floor or your mat. Palms facing towards the ceiling. We are now laying in Shavasana or or corpse pose. Letting your mind fall deep into your consciousness, the body melting into the earth where it belongs. Wiggling your fingers and your toes. Coming back to life. Regaining consciousness. Coming back to the body. Whenever you're ready, rolling onto your right or your left side, and then meeting me into a comfortable seated position when you're ready. Slowly with intention. Come into a comfortable seat. Once you are here, placing both palms either on your knees, heart center, or placing both palms on top of the heart. We're going to end today's session with 4 breaths. A breath for the people who was here before, a breath for the indigenous people who was here before colonization. Breathing in. A breath to thank yourself for your practice today. Breathing in. A breath to thank others for their support. Breathing in. And a breath for any intentions you have for the day that you want to set aside for yourself. And a breath for self-care. Breathing in. So that was more like 5 breaths, but that's okay. The loving human in me bows down to the loving human in all of you. Namaste. And thank you for coming to today's session. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I love you too, Ben Freeman. Thank you for coming. Thank y'all for coming. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. It's really nice outside, so if you like, you should probably get some vitamin D going, get some sunlight on that face. Goodbye.